All right, here we go. We have LSU basketball star and rapper Flau'jae Johnson, fresh off her national championship. Welcome to Vlad TV.
Thank you for having me.
Congrats on your success.
Thank you.
Congrats. You've really done a lot in a short period of time. But you've actually been on the grind for a long time. So
long time.
Long time. But it's all coming together now.
Most definitely.
Well, it's your first time here. I want to start in the very beginning. But in your case, your story actually starts before you were born. Because you're actually the daughter of rapper Camouflage, who was essentially the first rapper to put Savannah, Georgia on the map. You know, when you go back and listen to his music now, how does it really affect you?
When I listen to his music, it kind of just give me the chills, like, you know, knowing that I'm kind of still carrying on the legacy. But just hearing how good he was and like back in that time period, it's dope. It like really give me chills.
Yeah. Well, for those that don't know, so Camouflage was a big deal in the early 2000s. Right. His biggest song was Cut Friends. And that became, you know, it got out of Savannah, Georgia. It became sort of a national, you know, kind of thing. It didn't hit the main Billboard charts, but it was hitting the indie charts and everything else like that. And there was a lot of energy that was actually building up. You know, I was talking to your mom before the interview. Pure Pain Records, the owner, Luke Mann. Am I saying it right? Luke Mann. Yeah, he used to actually sponsor a lot of my stuff.
Really?
You know, as a DJ. Yeah, back in around 2003, 2004.
That's crazy.
Yeah, our paths kind of intermix
Right,
in weird types of ways.
That's dope. Small world.
Yeah, exactly. So he was building up, and you know, he had a few songs that were really kind of bubbling and everything else like that. And there was a situation where his friend Mike ended up getting killed, right? And he ended up going on the radio. And on the radio, he said, we gonna ride for you. And then the next day, he was at the studio at Pure Pain Studios with your brother.
Not my brother.
Not your brother?
So I'm glad I get to say this. I don't have a brother. Like, that was like some lady, she was like trying to say that was his child.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So they thought it was his kid, but it wasn't. Like, they got like a DNA test and all of that, and it proved it wasn't his child.
Okay, how old was the child at the time?
About a year. I don't know, like one. I wasn't born yet. So
you weren't born yet, exactly.
So he was probably like a year old though.
Okay, so he's at the studio with this baby that he thinks is his, you know, and he's taking care of the baby. And then out of nowhere, they end up pulling up and shooting him. Did the baby get hit at all, or?
I don't think so. I don't think the baby got shot. Only my dad.
Okay. But just a horrific situation.
Kind of crazy, like broad daylight type of situation, like with a kid, like that's crazy.
And this was 6 months before you were born.
Yeah, that was in May.
So
I was born in November.
Right. So you were a baby in your mom's stomach when all this was happening. And I guess before you were born, he already knew that it was going to be a girl.
Yeah. So he named me, like a lot of people be like, Flau'jae, what that mean? Where that come from? But he named me that because his rapper name was Camouflage. You know what I'm saying? So Flau'jae, Camouflage, Flau'jae, Monet, it kind of rhymes. So that's what he named me. And like my mom was like, I'm not naming her that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like she gonna have to get a job and stuff like that. He was like, nah, that's what it is. And then like he died. So like that was his last wish. So she just named me Flau'jae.
Right. I guess Camouflage just doesn't quite work as well.
Nah, that just don't go. That just don't even, it don't got the ring to it, that Flau'jae.
Flau'jae is a better, got a nice little flow to it. You know, it's 20 years since he passed away and it's still unsolved.
Right.
Does that bother you?
It don't bother me, but it's like at the same time, it's like, dang, you want justice, you feel me? But like at the same time, I know like the streets and how it is. So like, it ain't never really fazed me. Like it's nothing I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But I know that, me personally, like, it should be some justice in that way, but, you know, that's just how it goes sometimes in the street.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a documentary about Camouflage. It was like a 20-minute documentary that was put together. And I remember one of the guys in the documentary said that, you know, the streets know who did it, but no one's going to say anything because they don't want to be next kind of situation.
I don't know, like, too much about that, but, like, stuff just happened how it's supposed to happen. Everything always comes full circle.
Well, yeah, I mean, I remember I guess your grandmother was speaking, and she was saying that, you know, she would speak to her son, and he said, you know, so many of these guys in the streets want me dead. I may never make it to be a man. So he actually knew that there was a lot of danger.
Yeah, and that's scary in itself, you know what I mean? But I think it's just like coming from Savannah and you really coming out, like, a lot of people don't make it out of there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they jealous and they envious, you know what I'm saying? That's why, like, artists that come out of the city, they don't never really go too big unless they, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, in that, like, it's like a crab in the bucket effect. Like, I was on AGT and I was like, I'm from Savannah, it's a crab in the bucket effect. So, like, when you coming out the barrel and you almost at the top, the other crab, it'll pull you down because they don't really want to see nobody get up out of that. And I think that was the kind of situation that was, you know what I mean? And he probably seen that, like, that's why I wish, like Boosie always say, you got to move out where you come from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I wish that was the case for that situation.
Yeah, he calls it hypnotized with hatred.
Yeah.
That's why he had to move out of Baton Rouge himself.
Exactly.
It was just between your so-called friends, your so-called enemies, the police.
Too much of a mix.
It's just too much.
Yeah.
Do you still live in Savannah yourself?
Oh, no. I'm in college right now, so I'm actually in Baton Rouge. Crazy you say that. I go to LSU, so.
Okay.
I live in Baton Rouge.
Right.
Yeah.
Does your family still live back there then?
They live in Atlanta, though.
Okay, so everyone moved.
Yeah, my mom moved me to Atlanta when I was like in 5th grade. Cause that's when I really wanted to start rapping. And she was like, it's gonna be more opportunity out there in Atlanta for you. So we moved up out there, moved to like Marietta area, Kennesaw, and we got it popping.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Just leave behind all those old beefs and, you know, all the old memories and the street talk and everything else like that. Yeah,
but for me, like, I'm good. Like in Savannah, I'm good. Like,
yeah.
You know, they respect me. They respect what I do because, and they like kind of protective of me because like, they like, this our superstar right here. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of love. But you know, you can't never put nothing past anybody because you never know people's intentions. But
of course.
I love my city for sure. But that right there, that hit, it just, that was a setback for the city.
Absolutely.
Like, we didn't have no artists coming out after like 20 years, except for like Quando.
Yeah,
you know
Quando's the last rapper that I know that came out of Savannah. I interviewed him early on,
Absolutely. Shout out Quando.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so you started rapping around 8 years old?
Yeah, like 7. My mom, the crazy part, my mom was like, I told my mom I wanted to rap. Like my mama, she throw these birthday parties for my dad every year. She used to. In Savannah at the club. Dang, what that club was called, Mom? Uptown? That was called Uptown back then. It's something different now, but Uptown, I told her, I was like, I want to perform at it. I want to rap. And she was like, no, you ain't rapping. Because this around the time, like, people telling me about my daddy, who he is. And I'm like, oh, I want to rap. She's like, nah, go on your books, you know, be a good, a good student. What I do, my uncle was just like, let her rap. I ended up going to, like, record an EP with Big Fifth and Roscoe the Boss. And they helped me record my first EP. And it was up from then, like, and I was rapping around the city, doing performances. Had a song out. The radios were showing love because my dad was so famous. So they kind of helped mold me into that because I was doing like E93 stuff at the park and like, you know what I'm saying? Like the big shows when I was young. So I feel like all of that just prepared me for like where I'm at today. But like the whole city rallied behind me. Even when I was like a little kid, nobody was listening to me. Yeah.
I mean, your real name is Flau'jae and your rap name is Flau'jae. Did you ever think of using a different rap name or is it always going to be Flau'jae?
Nah, I always knew it was going to be Flau'jae because nobody got a name like that.
Right.
It ain't no Love or Big, like, no, it's like Flau'jae. Like, that sound like a household thing, like Beyonce, like Flau'jae. You know what I'm saying? It's like that type of thing.
Okay. All right. So then around 12 or 13, you got into the Rap Game TV series.
Right.
Season 3, right?
Season 3.
Okay. And
let's talk about it.
So let's talk about it. So what, by that time, there's already 2 seasons. Right. Lotto, I think, was she the winner of season 1?
Season 1 winner.
Right. And she probably, right now as we speak, was probably the biggest name to come out of that particular TV show.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So were you watching the show leading up to this?
Man, I seen the commercial. They roll out was so crazy on Lifetime because it's crazy. My mama always watched these crazy movies on Lifetime. But then they was like, this rap show coming out. And I remember it was Lotto. And I already knew Lotto because she was kind of buzzing in Atlanta. Like, Lotto always been doing her thing, first of all. Let's give props to her. She been working for a long time. So she was already buzzing along with, like, Young Lyric and Lil Nico. Like, it was a big underground kid scene that it was, like, from people my age. And I was like, I didn't realize the market that it was, but I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like, I want to be a rapper. Like, I want to be on that show. I told my mama that the first commercial I seen it, she was like, we're going to make it happen. So the second season, I was supposed to audition to be on the second season, and they cut me. They was like, nah, like, your storyline don't really fit. It ain't for this right here. Because they were doing, like, big cities like Chicago, New York. You know, that's why Prince of New York, J.I., was on that one. So Baltimore with Lil Key, shout out to them. So my story didn't really fit. But on the third season, I tried out, did the Zoom call and everything. And then they was like, nah, we're not going to pick you for this one. You're going to be an alternate. I was like, man, forget rap game. I ain't finna do that. I don't even care no more. Then somebody dropped out. Like, they got their spot took. Like, I guess they couldn't compete. Maybe paperwork, I don't know. But they was like, they called me up. They was like, Flau'jae, come do y'all interview and we'll see what's up. We did the interview, blew them away, and they was like, nah, this your spot. And so I got on there by the grace of God. And after that, it was like history. Like, it was actually insane. Like, being able to tell my story at such a young age.
All right. So you did the Rap Game season 3. I mean, how was the overall experience from it?
The overall experience, it was cool. You know, I was a kid filming TV. It was long days, long hours, though. That was crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, they used to take our phones the whole day. That was crazy. No TVs in the house. Like, it was like rap boot camp. Like Jermaine Dupri really put on like a rap boot camp and a TV boot camp. It was like a celebrity boot camp for a young celebrity. It was crazy. But filming it, the love that I got, the national recognition that I got was what I needed to like start my career, for people to know who I was.
Well, I mean, Jermaine Dupri is one of the greatest music producers, not even hip hop producers, just overall music producers of all time. Mm-hmm. So what did you learn from really being around him and kind of soaking up the game?
Just like how to be a star, how to talk to people, how to conduct yourself, you know, how to do media, how to record tracks, and being under that pressure. Like in that show, it was just so much pressure. Like you would have a task and you got to do that. You got to write and remember a rap in one day. Like who really could do that in one day? Like, you know what I'm saying? But like it was putting you under them situations and you either fold or you come and you do your thing. So it was that type of thing, like throw you into the wolves and, you know, the strong survive type thing. But it was good for me in my developmental process. And I feel like a lot of artists skip that step. So Jermaine Dupri was like a mastermind for doing that.
Absolutely. Nova ended up being the winner.
Yeah.
Was that a disappointment?
Nah, from looking, if I was there right now and I was like, okay, chill out, like, yeah, I was supposed to win that. But looking out in hindsight, I realized I wasn't really ready yet. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a lot more steps to go. I had a lot more stuff to learn. I had a lot more things to prove. But that right there, that felt like I was disappointed in myself and it was a loss. So I got in my bag for real. Like I had to take that loss to be like, oh no, I gotta turn up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I gotta practice what I'm doing. I gotta hone up my skills. So I think the rap game took me through that when I didn't win because I was heartbroken. I was devastated. I was 12, so like I thought it was the end of the world. You know what I mean? But I locked myself in a room for like 2 months straight, and I just got to doing music.
I mean, when they announced the winner, were you crying?
Yeah, I cried. Yeah. You could see on the thing, but at the end, I was like, I'm gonna be back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all gonna remember me still. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get that sound back. That's motivational right there.
Well, I remember I interviewed Lotto when she was still like 17. Mm-hmm. She had already finished the rap game. Okay. And she was like starting her career.
So do her thing.
Yeah, she was starting to do her thing. And one of the things she said that was kind of interesting that maybe you could kind of clear up was that at the end of season 1, she said she didn't sign the deal with Jermaine Dupri because it wasn't enough money. Mm-hmm. Why did you turn it down?
Okay, so my dad has always been a businessman. He was an entrepreneur all my life. So he was so many different hustles, like I told you, drag racing, in the music, with the cars, da-da-da. So he always instilled that within me growing up. So I never, like, even though I was a kid in the industry, I never conducted myself like a kid. I took everything for what it was. I was never like starstruck or anything like that. So in offering me a deal, right after I'm off a hit TV show, mind you, I win a lot of money when I win the show, regardless if I sign or anything. That's from Lifetime. I win a lot of money from the show.
Okay, can you say how much you won?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
I win a lot of money from the TV show. Straight off a hit TV show. I had already built a fan base, a strong social media following. I'm already booking shows. You know what I'm saying? I'm already here. So in order for me to take a deal, it needs to be here. You get what I'm saying? You feel like you're catching the vibe. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It would just have to be something extraordinary. And being that after I won the TV show, I took some of my cash and invested it. And you know what I'm saying? It's too many money flows right now. Like, I can ride this independent route for a minute. So if you're not offering this, I'm not even gonna sit down and have a conversation with you. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what it was.
But then I interviewed Jermaine Dupri, and I brought that same question up, and he's like, "Well, before anyone gets on the show, they already signed the deal. So I don't know what she's talking about. I'm letting her do her thing, and I'm not really tripping. But like, she's already signed to me. So saying that she never signed is a little silly."
Right.
Yeah, all our artists are signed though. It's not even a situation of they don't just come on that TV show for free.
Oh, so she was signed before she even came on the show?
Yeah, they all get signed. It's just, you know, a TV show artist goes when they go on these TV shows, they sign over their rights as, you know, that's part of being on these shows. You know, you ever watch American Idol and people like, Simon's gonna still put out this person even though this person doesn't win? They signed to him.
Okay, so you signed her ahead of time along with everyone else.
It's a TV show, so the artist, when you sign up for this is things that you have to, you know, that comes along with it.
But she started putting out music independently.
Yeah.
Do you just allow that to happen because you're not tripping?
100%.
Okay.
I'm from the rap world, and I know how rap works.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And at the same time, I know that Vlad TV didn't know who Miss Mulatto was until she was on the Rap Game.
True.
So therefore, you know, let these artists build up their resume.
So if you wanted to be a hard-nosed businessman, you could basically say, okay, all these songs.
Yeah, I could have. This was a while back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was on the first season.
Yeah.
I'm on 5 now.
So my question is to you: when you get on that show, do you already sign a deal ahead of time?
I mean, it's a lot of paperwork with like the TV.
Yeah.
So like that's like America's Got Talent. Like you already signed up. Like if you win, you get the money we want to do. So it probably was that situation. But I want to know because I want to win. You feel me? Like I ain't signed anyway, so I can't even speak on their situation.
Okay, fair enough. Well, then by 2018, you got on America's Got Talent.
Right.
So what led up to that?
The Rap Game.
Okay.
They the producer, they was like, we love your story. We want you to tell it some more to like a wider audience, a newer audience. And man, my mama, she was like, you got to do that. Like, that's another demographic. That's another lane that you can go to. There's more fans you can reach. And so she was like, take everything you learned from the Rap Game and use it to tell your story. And that's what I did. Like, and I did the song Guns Down in memory of my father and his legacy. And they was real interested in that story, how, you know, he was a rapper and now I'm a rapper. I was able to do that. And that was probably like the biggest thing that I did since the Rap Game. Like, at that point, that was the biggest thing that I did. Because, like, it was such a wide audience and it went so viral. Like, it had, like, 60 million views and, like, the golden buzzer and all that. Like, it just changed how people see me as a rapper from the Rap Game to America's Got Talent.
Well, right, because, I mean, the Rap Game, I mean, it's on Lifetime, but America's Got Talent's on, like, what, NBC? NBC. Yeah. So you're talking about a huge, really an international audience.
Exactly.
You know, not to take anything away from the Rap Game because they're doing their thing, but America's Got Talent is, like,
but yeah, because you gotta think about it, like it's not just rap, and like only a certain amount of people would listen to rap. Well, you know what I'm saying? Understand that most of the people in the culture. So this was people from different cultures, and you know what I'm saying? They was watching. I'm on a show with magicians and dancers, and they falling from the sky and stuff. So like it's different. Like you know what I mean?
Okay.
It's just a different audience. So it was a wider audience, and my mom was like, "That's just something you need," because she was like, "At this point, I'm not really like finna sell no records to the audience that I want to sell them to because I'm still young." My voice still a little scratchy, like, you know? So, like, going through that phase, she was like, I just want to keep you in the TV and in the eye of the people, which was super smart. So we did that, and there was history.
Okay, because you were in was it the semifinals or the quarterfinals?
Made it to the quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals, yeah.
And I got cut. And I was back on that, like, all right. All right.
Did you cry that time around?
Did I cry, Mama?
You was upset.
I was upset, but I didn't cry. I took it on the chin again. Like, like now I'm looking back now, like, you gotta take losses. But then, like, I'm like, every time I take a loss, I'm thinking like, all right, how can I win again? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can I turn this into a lesson? So every loss that I took, it was a lesson. Like, it wasn't a loss because I came back and I elevated.
Okay, so let's switch gears for a second. At what point did the basketball thing start?
I've been playing basketball though. So like since I've been growing up, like I watched my uncle Oscar play. Him, Mooley, Tyrell, everybody. I was actually in a rap group. Nobody noticed. Around the neighborhood, it was called Victory Heights Kids.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all ever find that, but man, I was in a rap group when I was young. But this one of them groups like you just around the neighborhood. Yeah. Everybody outside every day. Like somebody got some equipment, and we call ourselves recording. So I was in that little rap group, but we always used to go hoop, go around town. But I was young, like I was like 7, so they never let me hang. My uncle's like, "You ain't hooping with us, you too little." Like, all right, when I get real, I'm gonna hoop. I started going down hooping with my friends at the Boys and Girls Club. My mama was trying to find a team for me to play on, and they was like, you know, they don't know what they're doing anyway. They all young, so just let her play on the team. So I would always play with the boys, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I got so good coming up, because I was hooping with the boys. Like, they following me, they pushing me, but I'm taking it because I'm with the boys. So I did that up until I was 10, moved to Atlanta, 5th grade, told you that. Then I got on this AAU team with my best friend's dad, Janelle's dad, and I was playing with them for a minute, like a couple of years. But it wasn't nothing that was on a circuit that was going to get me found for colleges. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't going to get me ready and prepared to go to that next level. Boom. Now, I'm in high school. I switched from my last year to play for Team Elite with Coach Chad. This on the EYBL Nike circuit. Play with them, I kill. Now I'm going up. I'm going up, I'm going up, I'm going up. So I always played my whole life, but like 7th, 8th grade, when all my classmates and my peers getting ranked, I wasn't, because I was just hooping at LA Fitness and killing, like playing against dudes, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't start training until like 9th grade, 10th grade, and taking basketball serious when I realized I can like go to college for it. And I got my first offer. So after that, I became like a McDonald's All-American. I got ranked number 6 in the country. I was the Jordan Classic MVP, Slam Classic MVP. I got my jersey retired and everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's when I popped on the circuit, like, as being a basketball player.
Weren't you the only girl to play in the Iverson Classic too?
Yep, I was the only girl to play in the Iverson Classic. That was crazy too.
Okay, because you're 5'10" now.
Yeah.
So were you always tall as a kid? No. Or did that kind of come in high school sometime?
That's why, like, they call me a big guard, because, like, I'm, like, big for a girl, but I move like a guard, because I was short all my life. I didn't hit a growth spurt until, like, 9th, 10th grade.
Really?
Like, 9th grade, I probably went, like, 5'8", and then 10th grade, 5'9", and 11th, like, 5'10", and I was up there.
Okay.
Yeah, but I could still move like a guard, because that's all I've been.
Okay. So you graduated from Sprayberry High School.
Right.
They retired your jersey.
Most definitely.
Was the plan to always play for LSU, or was it just the best offer that you got?
It just fell perfectly how it's supposed to, because I was getting offered by every school. Like, I had everybody. Florida State, like Tennessee, Texas, everybody, like USC. I had everybody. But I was like, people wasn't understanding the fact that I wanted to be a rapper and an athlete. Coaches wasn't understanding it. They was like, okay, but which one do you love more? Which one do you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, I can't choose, because I want to do both of them. And so I called my coach, Chad. I was like, I want to play for Kim Mulkey, because I had seen her on TV. And I was like, this is who I want to play for. And so happened they understood what I wanted to do. Like, on my official visit, they took me to the studio. You know what I mean? So they really understand my vision and what I wanted to be. So LSU was the perfect place for me. It just, I really took that step to just be like, I want to go play for her. Because she recruited me a little bit when I was at Baylor, but she knew I was not coming to Texas. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to stay in the South. Mm-hmm. So it really just happened how it was supposed to happen. Like, I took a chance on her, she took a chance on me, and it happened.
Right, because LSU was good, but at that time, they had never even been to the Final Four.
Exactly. No, it wasn't even that, because that was the time that Coach Mulkey got the job at LSU. You feel me? Like, she had just got there. It was her first year after inheriting the other team. So this really like her first year with her real team that she recruited. And I was the first person to go there, like, when it was nobody there. There was nobody there. It was just me coming. I was the first McDonald's All-American, like, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, that was big for Coach Mulkey, because, like, and then she was able to get Angel Reese, and she was able to get Kateri Poole, and all these, Jasmine Carson, like 9 transfers, Poa, the number 1 JUCO, you feel me? So, you know, all the pieces started to fit together. That's why I always say, like, she took a chance on me and I took a chance on her. For real.
Well, as a freshman, you averaged 11 points and 5.9 rebounds per game. Your season high was 27 points, 10 rebounds, 6 steals, and 5 assists in a 100-45 win over Northwestern State. Yeah. Absolute blowout.
Yeah.
Did you feel bad? Doing that to Northwestern?
No. What? Feel bad for what? You came on the court like you was ready, so let's play. I didn't like, my whole focus was like, dang, like, I'm playing college ball. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, same thing. Like, and I was like, once we started playing them teams and we started beating them by hundreds, I was like, all right, I can get used to this. But they was telling me like, Fly, this is just, this non-conference. And everybody say our non-conference weak, but we was just blowing through the teams. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they was weak, like, competition. Like, they weren't like up, like SEC level. So we playing them and I'm getting a groove. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling this. So our first SEC game, and this was like the conference. So these good teams, Power 5 schools, we played Arkansas. I think I had like a double-double in that game. And I was like, okay, like, this gonna be something that I enjoy. This gonna be something I can get good at. My first SEC game, I got a double-double. Then I went to Kentucky. I scored like 26 at Kentucky. And I was like, dang, like, you know what I'm saying? So just going on that road, like having that role and learning. But in the course of the season, I had to learn like different positions. I had to learn like what I do best, like on the court, and like maximize that for the team, for sure.
Well, you got named the Southeastern Conference Freshman of the Year.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
Man, that felt good. Because I worked so hard for that. If people don't know how much work I put in that, like I was waking up every morning at 5 a.m., doing 3 workouts a day, with study hall, with school, all of that, trying to be the best that I could be for my team and for myself. And stuff that I had written down in my vision board. So that was big for me.
Like, when did Rock Nation Sports actually call you? Was that before the finals?
Actually, like, I'm not, they never called me. Like,
They never called you?
nah, I'm not signed to Rock Nation Sports. Everything that I do.
But didn't they reach out? I remember I saw your mom do an interview about it.
Nah,
No? It was on ESPN.
So, Rock Nation, okay, we gotta go back. So, I'm signed to EQ on the music side.
Okay.
With a distribution deal with Rock Nation, but it came through sports.
Okay.
Because LaMelo manager, JJ, he started like LaMelo Ball AAU team. He was like, I want Flau'jae to play. My mom like, nah, but she a rapper. Like, you gonna have to be able to make sure she get to practice, get back to the studio in Atlanta, you feel me? Because she don't just hoop. So she rap, what? Like, I know some people at Rock Nation through the sports side because I'm on sports. You feel me? I got Melo. So, he plugged the dots and connected them. And next thing you know, I was on a call with the presidents and he was like, you know, congratulations, we want to fly you up here, what we're about to do. And that's how I got the music deal.
Uh-huh.
Feel me? Not the sports. Like,
Okay.
they never called me on a sports tip with like NIL and nothing like that. My mama handled everything.
Okay.
NIL.
Got it. Thanks for clearing that
For
up.
sure.
All right. So then the NCAA Women's National Championship game, LSU versus Iowa.
Yeah.
Coming into that game, how'd you feel?
I didn't feel no way because like usually I'd be nervous like before a game, but I wasn't nervous. I was just like, this the last game regardless. Like some people don't get to this point where they season end, they know it's gonna be the last game, so you gotta go out there and play. You know what I'm saying? Like this it. Like this what you prepared for. This is the moment. So that game, it was super fun. It was super fun.
I mean, did you know you're gonna win the whole time, or were there times where it's like, okay,
By the time
it
we
could
got
go
to
either way?
By the time we got to we made a big crazy run in the second quarter. I knew it was over with then because it was like we got in that LSU groove, and that's a hard groove to stop. I don't care who you is. You could be a superwoman like Caitlin Clark is, but you still can't like when we all firing on all cylinders. It's just hard.
Okay, so Caitlin Clark,
Yeah.
she was a star in Iowa. Now, what not everyone realizes was the whole, face waving thing.
Yeah.
She was actually doing that to other people.
Yeah. So it's crazy. She did it to who my teammate is now, Haley Van Lip. She did that to them. They was trash talking between Louisville and her. And then, I don't know, it just leaked over into our game, I guess. Because, like, Caitlin Clark should be talking trash, like, but she be backing it up, so that's why it's so cold. And we was like, all right, we're gonna pop it too, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so the whole game, like, that was the biggest moment of the game when she did that, but like the whole game, everybody was chirping, like, you feel me? So, but that moment right there, that was a crazy moment.
Well, yeah, I mean, Angel Reese, AKA the Bayou Barbie.
Yeah.
I guess, she was seeing Caitlin do that.
Yeah.
So she decided to do it back to her.
Yeah.
So she was doing the whole thing. And for those that don't know, everyone gave John Cena the credit for it.
Yeah.
But my man Tony Yayo was the one that actually came up with
the
it.
original.
The original.
Definitely.
In fact, John Cena actually got it from Yayo.
Dang, that's crazy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Yayo's a regular on my show. The whole story was that John Cena's little brother was a Tony Yayo G-Unit fan. And he would always see that.
That's
so
crazy.
He went to his brother and was like, yo, you should do that. He's like, okay, I'm going to do it in my wrestling match. And then he started doing his wrestling match and it caught on.
Yeah.
But Yayo, do you know the story where that dance came from?
Nah.
Yayo was actually on the run. He had a warrant out for his arrest.
Okay.
But he was using his brother's passport to sort of tour around with G-Unit. But he was wanted for a gun charge. In an attempt not to get arrested, he would do this dance to kind of cover his face up, hoping that they wouldn't notice that it was him.
That's crazy.
Because he was on the run from the police.
Yeah.
So it just turned into a dance
and then
over him trying not to get arrested.
That's crazy.
And it just became a thing.
Right.
And then John Cena took it over. And then
made it big, yeah.
Made it big. And eventually Angel took it over.
Right.
It became even bigger because of it. Well, a lot of people were actually upset over it because I guess they didn't know the background story behind it. And the CEO of Barstool Sports actually called Angel a classless piece of shit.
Yeah.
When you heard that, what'd you think?
That's just crazy. Like I said, I was on the Twitter because like we took over Twitter for like a couple of weeks, and like I was on his Twitter and I'm like, bro, you serious? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are we dead serious? Like, at the end of the day, like, she a college student, a young lady, you know what I'm saying? Somebody's child. Yeah. And you just don't speak to people like that. But like, it's social media and people speak crazy because they don't have repercussions. But I was not feeling that. Like, that was like disrespectful in that taste. Like,
yeah, even Gilly and Wallow, who are signed to Barstool, even said that we don't fuck with that.
Yeah,
we don't co-sign that.
Like, who says something like that? To a young female, like, what kind of man are you? I think it's that type of, like, you know.
Well, by the end of the game, 102 to 85, LSU's first national win ever.
Yeah.
And even the first time, you know, to the Final Four.
In history, yeah.
In history. When that buzzer hit and the game was over, how'd you feel?
Bro, I knew it was over in the fourth quarter, so like, I'm just watching the time go by. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at my mama, I'm looking at Coach Moki, I'm just looking at everything. Like, I'm finding my mama in the section, I'm just looking at her, and I'm like, Mama. And she look like, what? Like, and then I go and I hug Coach Moki. It's like a video of me hugging her in slow motion. I pick her up and grab her, like, cause like you gotta understand, like nobody picked us out to win. Like we was the underdogs really the whole season. Even when we was winning and we was going like we was undefeated, we was still the underdogs, you know? So like to win that and be able to do that and how we did it with the team that we did, with the pieces that we put together, cause nobody know the behind the scenes and everything. So we just went through a lot and we came together for the better. Like after we lost to Tennessee in the tournament when we wasn't supposed to lose, like we came together for the better. It was just amazing. It was an amazing feeling.
Well, didn't they play your Big Four song in the arena?
Yes.
Right after y'all won?
Yes. They played my single Big Four right after. I was holding the championship trophy and they was playing it. Like, it was crazy. It was like a dream come true. It was magical.
Yeah. And then when you guys got to the locker room, y'all played Boosie's Set It Off.
Yeah. I mean, we played it before the game and
before
after the game.
Also.
Yeah. Before the game, we was turning, like, after we beat Virginia Tech to go to the championship, we played Set It Off. Like, we in here now. It's about that time. You know what I mean? So we already had that vibe going into that. But we always listen to Boosie. He actually called us. My mama had him call us. He was like, it's about that time. You know how he get when he lit. So he called us. He showed us love.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, Boosie's a regular guest on my show.
Come on. Mr. LSU. We love Boosie down there.
And he's like your play uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess your mom was telling me before the interview that after your dad died, Boosie reached out and was like, hey, you know, I really feel what you guys are going through and whatever I could do to help.
Yeah, he was. He showed love. Like, even helping me get on the rap game. Like, posting video on his page, like, Jermaine Dupri, get my niece. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, trying to help me and navigate as much as he could. You know, you got a lot of kids. Like, so for him to even reach his hand out and even take the time to even do that, like, that was like a lot of love. And then he kept. Like, when he didn't have to. He's always been a resource. He's always been help. Like, he's just a good dude, a solid guy. Even with everything he got going on, he took the time out to try to, you know, see what I had and try to support it. So I love Boosie forever. I stick beside him. Stick beside him.
Yeah, that's my man. We go back 20 years.
What's that?
You know, one of the most solid people I know.
Yeah.
Period. Absolutely. And, you know, the NCAA championship was the biggest game in the history of the tournament.
Yeah.
9.9 million viewers, almost 10 million people.
Yeah.
So it was just...
The world was watching.
The world was watching.
It was history made in the building that way. The fact that this was the first and only national championship for basketball in the school in LSU history. Mm-hmm. Had a parade in the city. Like, it was just history all around. Like, nothing like it.
Well, the First Lady, Jill Biden, was at the game. And after you guys won, she said that both teams should come to the White House.
Yeah.
Which I've never even heard. I've never heard of anything like this before.
Yeah. You know, maybe she was just on some girl power thing, you know what I mean? She didn't know, but...
She didn't know? Come on.
Like, I don't know, bro.
Who brings the losers to the White House? I mean, in any sport.
In the history of the world.
College, professional, you've just never heard it.
But no, that was a crazy situation. That was history too. I was just talking like, that was crazy
That was part of history. I mean, were your feelings hurt a little bit? Because it's like...
It was like, bro, let us get our recognition by ourselves. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we won. Like, winners go to the White House. Losers go back home.
Right.
You know, so it was that type of thing. But, you know, she took it back. So obviously she knew she was...
Oh, she did take it back?
Yeah, they didn't come to the White House.
Well, I know. But did she actually say, I'm sorry for saying that?
Oh,
I don't remember that part.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I know that she probably did. But I remember it was just like, LSU would be the only team going. And it was like a lot of talk between LSU and the White House and stuff. But that was like, it was kind of like, just let us get our recognition by ourselves. Like,
well, didn't you tweet like, you know, if LSU had lost, would you guys be invited also?
Right. That's when, and that was the whole thing. Like, for me, it was like, just be fair with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't got to be, but just be fair. Because if we would have lost, like, we probably wouldn't have had no invite either. So.
Well, originally Angel Reese said that she's not going,
mm-hmm.
but then she ended up going,
mm-hmm.
and you went as well.
Yeah.
How's that whole experience?
It was a cool experience, and I think Angel, we ended up going because Angel really sat beside and was like, you know, I'm a captain of this team, and like I'm gonna do what's best for the team, and not let my emotions, like, you know what I'm saying, get in the way of an experience that other people on the team may want to have. You know what I'm saying? Don't take that away. So she was big enough to be like, nah, like, you know what I'm saying? I was emotional, you know what I'm saying? What we're about to do. But the experience was crazy. You know, it don't get bigger than the White House. Like, you know what I'm saying? This ain't the state representative. Like, this the White House. Like,
it's the president
Secret Service.
Of the most powerful country on the planet.
You know what I'm saying? So a great experience.
Yeah.
A legendary experience for sure, but it was fun. It was fun.
Well, one of the co-players on your team, Samaya Smith, collapsed.
Yeah, she
during during Biden's speech.
We were standing for a minute, like they had us standing like we were standing for the presentation. We were standing like that for 2 hours, like before we got there, and it was kind of, she probably locked her legs or something, but I don't know. But she passed out.
Did you talk to her afterwards about it?
Yeah, she did that before on the official visit. So like, I think it was like too much standing.
Okay,
but she good.
She's good.
She's good.
Well, you're a coach at LSU, Kim Mulkey. She also coached Brittany Griner in college. Mm. When you saw the whole Brittany Griner situation play out, what did you think?
Man, I was just happy that BG was able to come home and then be mentally well enough to play in the next WNBA season. So I was happy that she came. I was repping her when she was in there, like, you know, using my social media platform to push the message forward, get her home. And I'm just happy that she came home and she gets to be with her family, because nobody want to be in the situation that she was in.
Oh, yeah. That's horrible. I mean, you yourself, you know, if you decide to continue into the WNBA and everything else like that, would you ever consider playing in Russia?
No.
Okay.
I don't plan on going overseas or nothing. I like it here. I got 2 careers though, so it's like a lot of the reason, like, they're over there to make more money.
Right,
you know
exactly.
What I'm saying? So
that's the only reason they're over there.
Yeah, so like that's the thing. That's why I'm doing what I do, because it's not for certain that I'm gonna make X amount of dollars in the WNBA. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to go anywhere else. But that's why I got music, and that's why I got other business ventures that I'm doing, so I could be well taken care of if I don't play. You know what I'm saying?
Well, right. I mean, you still hear of American basketball players, both male and female, still going over to Russia and playing to this day, which to me is crazy. I mean, I was born in what used to be Russia. Yeah. I was born in Ukraine.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, the fact that I have a Ukrainian flag on my Twitter profile means I'm probably not going to go back to Russia again because I might get locked up myself over my support of the Ukraine. Right. So to me, it's crazy, or for example, I just talked to Fredro Starr from Onyx. They're going over there to perform. And I'm like, why? Like, y'all tripping right now. We're at war, essentially. But people still feel like, well, I just need this money and I'm going to risk my freedom to go over there. So as someone who plays in the same sport, how do you feel about situations like that? And do you think part of it is because the WNBA doesn't pay as much, where female basketball players have to do that?
Right. And that is it. Like, the WNBA don't pay enough. Like, the highest salary in the WNBA is like $250,000.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
The highest,
highest paid women, like,
the
they
highest,
did a list.
Okay, so who's the superstar of the WNBA?
Who was on there, mama? It was like a list. It was like Aja Wilson, like Candace Parker wasn't even up there on that list. Really? You feel me? Like, cause she took a pay cut to go to the Aces. So I don't remember, but it's like a list. And they just dropped it, but I just looked at it and it was like the highest. It was like 200s. They didn't leave out the 200s.
Wow, because I think Britney was making like over $1 million.
Over
in Russia
and overseas.
She was like essentially the Michael Jordan of Russia in terms of basketball over there, which is why she was going over there. But then she paid a horrible price because of it.
Exactly. That's why I'm good on it. And I know like men go overseas because that's like shot to be a pro and then get in other doors to get to the NBA. But I just don't think that it's worth it going to a place like that, like Russia. Like nah, like. Probably like my teammates, you going like to Egypt and stuff like that. I think that's cool, like, you know what I'm saying? But going somewhere with your freedom at stake, I wouldn't. That's not in my goals. But that's why I got two things. My mom always told me, like, what if something happened in basketball? You still got music.
Well, like an injury.
Right.
Gilbert Arenas was here a couple of days ago. And he was one of the superstars of the NBA. And by, I think, 32, 33, he just got a series of injuries and he was done.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you think about, you're going to live to 80, 90, maybe even 100 years old. And imagine at 32 years old, your career is done. Imagine being a lawyer and at 32 saying, okay, that's it. You can't do law anymore. Right. Or
you put your whole life
up to that point, and then at that point.
And it's something that you can't control. It's over. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Most definitely, I understand that. And I understand that at a young age. My mama made me understand that like, you're going to do two things and you're going to set yourself up. Because women don't even get paid a lot in the WNBA to be risking it like that. You feel me? So if you're going to risk it, have something to fall back on. And that's all that that's everything that that's why I do everything that I do. Yeah. Because I'm multifaceted, because I want to do so many things. You know what I'm saying? Outside of basketball. Because the ball's going to stop bouncing one day.
Well, you won the championship. You went back to your music again, and you dropped a freestyle on May 10th.
Yeah.
It was over Lotto's Put It On The Floor.
Yeah.
And you had a line in there. In this 9/11 blowing smoke just like them towers. And people got a little upset over that because it was a comparison to the Twin Towers situation. When you put that line together, did you know that it was going to cause a little bit of a stir?
Me, I was like, the bar is just hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, my team was like, Flau, you sure? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mom was like, that's like a sensitive topic. I'm like, yeah, but they would know, like, I'm not trying to like mock the people or nothing. They would know I'm just trying to get a slick bar off. You feel me? But like the spot that I'm in, I realized that like my music is not heard by like a small audience of just like the culture of the people who can understand. It's more visible. Even the fact that I'm at LSU. So I got a smaller microscope on me. So anything that I say or do is gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? Scrutinized to the smallest degree. So I had to understand that and make sure I'm not being disrespectful to other people trying to be creative. You know what I mean? So I think that was a lesson that I learned early in my career, how bad it blew up. You know what I'm saying? But it was never my intention to disrespect anybody or mock anybody. Or, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to get a slick bar off. And now I understand, like, in the world between basketball and rap, that, like, it's a line that you got to thread. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got a lot of brands that I work with that I love. And just making sure that I'm keeping everything at the same level. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was like a learning situation for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, I remember back in the day, Allen Iverson tried to get a rap career going. And he had a song where he was talking about shooting people and all types of shit. And I remember the NBA came in and was like, cut this shit out.
Yeah.
And he had to basically take everything down and remove everything and essentially stop rapping.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, you could be a rapper. I mean, listen, Shaq went platinum as a rapper. But if you look at what he was talking about, it's all very PG.
Right. And that's the thing, like, that's what's so dope about my music, because, like, I'm spitting, but, you know, the content that I spit about is just real stuff about that's going on in my life. And because I ain't in the streets, like, I'm in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
So it's cool. And I think it's that balance, because I am a basketball player and I am a rapper. So my music more motivational, it's more positive. And that's why when that whole situation happened, I was like, bro, like, yeah, like, this the bar they gonna pick on when I got a whole bunch of songs in my catalog that's about positivity and love, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even curse in my music, so it was like, but that's not what I want to push. Like, I want to push positivity. Like, I want that to be the new wave. So with what I'm doing, I think it aligns well with my basketball endeavors.
Well, it got so big that LSU had to actually make a statement.
Yeah.
They said, we spoke with Flau'jae this evening. While she never intended to offend or upset anyone with her lyrics, she expressed sincere remorse for any possibility of a misunderstanding and immediately took the video down.
Yeah.
We will learn and grow from the experience together. Yeah. So, you know, once this happened, did you get a call from someone high up at LSU and was like, okay, we got to do some damage control here?
No, it wasn't like damage control, because, like my people at LSU, like, they love me and they know me. You know what I'm saying? So they know, like, Flau'jae, she don't mean no harm. So that's like, even when they came to me with it and they was like, they saying it, I'm like, what? Like, okay, let's just take the video down. Like, just out of respect, you know? And it had like 1 million views in like one day.
Like, I don't want to take it down. I don't want to take it down.
But I was like, you know, it ain't worth it of people thinking that I'm this type of person when I'm not. So I redid the video, redid the song that same day and dropped it the next day with another different version. And it's still going up. People still love it. So it wasn't the thing. Like, my LSU, like, my coaches, they know who I am. They know who I am, know what type of person I am, know what kind of message I'm trying to spread. So it wasn't like any like damage control.
Well, in terms of college players profiting from sports, this has been discussed for decades. And for the longest time, it was like, well, look, we'll give you a scholarship. We will pay for your room and board, give you free books, give you free food, and the rest of the money goes to us. And this was the argument that lasted, I mean, really for probably like 50, 60 years. But then in 2021, it got all the way up to the Supreme Court, and they actually ruled in favor of the players. So suddenly you had this whole name and likeness deal that was able to be offered to players.
Right.
The timing of it was very good for you, because like I said, it's 2023 right now. The Supreme Court thing happened in 2021. So coming into it, you now were in a position where, as someone who has a level of popularity outside of basketball, as well as basketball and social media following, you actually were primed to be like one of the top people in the NIL space. So were you aware of that coming into it, or is that something you learned a little bit later?
Nah, that was our goal. Like, that's what my mom wanted to do. Like, her being my manager, she was like, I want you to be one of the top NIL prospects. I really want you to be number one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Build your brand to the fact where you like number one in like NIL deals. You know what I'm saying? And so we always thought like just building my brand, the brand that we already built, it was like this perfect for it. You know what I'm saying? This perfect for the opportunity that we about to get on the court and off the court. So using that and maximizing. Like, she already had that plan of me doing everything I can for the music and the basketball to marry the two and to build a bigger brand. So we already had that. We knew that it was the perfect position, because like the year before it started, so it was like more of a trial run with the brands and stuff. So this year it was bigger than ever. And we just took advantage of it.
Okay. What was your first NIL deal?
My first NIL deal was a shoe deal with Puma.
Aha.
Yep. And I got that way before I even went to college. Like, I was in high school.
You had that in high school?
Yeah.
Really?
Going to college. So I didn't even play yet, and I had the Puma shoe deal.
Okay, but did that deal get renegotiated?
Yeah. It's in the works. It's in the works. It's in the works. But my mama, like, she's so smart, so everything that she negotiated is working perfectly, because she knew that I wouldn't be in the same spot that I was in when I first came. Like, she knew it was going to blow up and get bigger. So, it was just like, it was an amazing thing for me to do. And now that I have more leverage and more opportunity, it's just cool to be able to build with Puma for something that's, something that could come in the future, like go to the WNBA, drop a shoe, or, you know what I'm saying, that type of thing. And I think like that's on the track that I want to go to it, because I love Puma and I really want to be with them forever. You know what I mean? Like, so I think like this NIL space could create a lot of opportunities that a lot of people don't see.
Okay, Raising Cane's.
Yep.
That's another NIL deal.
Facts. And Raising Cane's more like inner city Baton Rouge.
Aha.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a college thing.
Yeah.
So everybody knows, like, you go to Cane's, like, it's open at 2 o'clock in the morning. So after the parties and everything, we go to Cane's, like, you know what I'm saying? During the day, we go to Cane's. They got the best chicken. That's like the place on the school campus.
Yeah, I actually tried Raising Cane's for the first time, like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
It really has to do with the sauce.
It's the
sauce is really what brings it all together.
It's always fresh. They always cook it fresh.
Yep.
Chicken be fresh. Shout out Todd Graves, the owner, man. He show a lot of love. Love Todd.
Okay. Campus Link or Campus Ink.
Yeah, so that's for my merchandising and my jerseys. So they license, so they're able to use the LSU logos and stuff like that. They're able to do my designs, whatever I want to do when I want to do, drop them. The jerseys, they got them on the website. I can go get y'all jerseys. And yeah, that's everything for like merchandising purposes.
Okay.
I did an NIL deal with them.
Meta, aka Facebook.
Meta, yeah, love Meta. I love my team over at Instagram, Facebook. They show a lot of love, man. From the music side to the basketball side, they was actually the first person, like, I did like a collab post with them, like on the Instagram page with 15 million, like 500 million followers, and we did like a video shoot where I was in my LSU jersey dribbling the ball, and then I was rapping on campus and doing that, and that came out so cool. And they just been helping me, partnering with me, performing at the NIL summit with Meta, that they do every year. So just doing activations with them to build my brand.
JBL?
JBL, yeah. Like my favorite. It was like, JBL was the perfect deal for me. Like I had beats and bows and everybody in the works, but like JBL was perfect because they understood the vision about what I want to do with music and basketball. Because music is in the culture. I always got my headphones in. Like I'm always chilling, listening to music. So that was always that was a great deal. Whether I'm in the studio or I'm in the court, I got my headphones in.
Taco Bell?
Oh yeah, that was like one of the smaller deals we did. Not from a national campaign, but like for my social media. Get paid a lot for a post, you know what I'm saying? So that was more of a campaign deal. It was the first game between Florida State and LSU. We lost, sadly. But we did like a little post thing with them for the Student Live Moz campaign. So that was cool though. Okay. I like working with them.
Who am I forgetting?
Powerade.
Powerade. Okay, that's Coca-Cola, right?
Yeah. LG.
LG.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Sonic.
Sonic
for sure.
Okay. I mean, without going into specifics, which of those companies gave you the biggest deal?
The biggest bag?
The biggest bag.
Yeah, my shoe deal. Yeah, that's the biggest one. That's the biggest.
There you go.
Puma's a big, that's a big.
Okay. Have you started investing your money? Because you're making, the most money you've ever made as a young person. And a lot of times when that happens, like me personally, the millions I made in the beginning, I fucked it all up. I wish I knew what I knew now about investing and stock portfolios and everything else like that. But back then, listen, as a young person in my early 20s, I wanted to get the Benz. I wanted to get the house. I wanted to get the clothes. I wanted to spend money on my friends. And then before you know it, things change and you're broke. I became homeless. You know what I'm saying? I had to start all over again. Not to say it's going to happen to you, but are you learning about investing your money and so forth yet, or is it still all new to you?
Yeah, I don't think people understand. Like, I have a passion for business, so with everything that I'm doing, I'm still starting other companies and things like that, trying to move the brand forward. I think I just did an interview with Earn Your Leisure on Market Mondays, EYL, and I was just telling them about how I just got like a financial advisor.
Good.
And just like a team just to make sure that I'm protected with everything that I'm doing, learning more about taxes and, you know what I'm saying, things like that. Because that's a really big deal now that I'm learning. But I definitely want to invest in the stock. Like, I was doing a lot of research on it and crypto when that was like, you know what I'm saying? And so I realized like crypto is not something I want to do right now, you know what I'm saying? But stocks is something that I definitely want to start doing, in real estate and things almost like that. But I haven't like started yet, but I'm in the talks, in the works with people, and I'm super excited about that. But I really want to invest in my businesses, like.
Well, I mean, you could do both.
Yeah,
I mean, when I
definitely.
first started making money, I got a financial advisor as well. But at the same time that I got a financial advisor, I started reading books.
Yeah.
So I read Warren Buffett's autobiography, The Snowball. And then I learned from the person that he learned from, which is Benjamin Graham. And I read his book. And I just started realizing that, you know something, a financial advisor is cool, but they're also trying to make money for themselves. So I learned how to invest stocks myself, and 15 years later, it was the best thing I could possibly do, because no one's going to care about your money the way you care about your money.
Right.
Point blank, period. And, you know, almost every athlete I've interviewed have had some sort of bad situation with a financial advisor or someone that's supposed to handle their money one way or another, including Gilbert Arenas and people like that. So, you know, as this money's coming in, just realize that throughout the course of your life, your money's going to fluctuate.
Yeah.
Okay. And the first time you're making money, you start to feel like you're going to keep making it at the same level. Now, that may be true.
I kind of like understood that, like, because I've been in the music industry for so long, I know how up and down they get.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, after the rap game, like, we was doing shows and we was whacking them in the head, you know what I'm saying? And then it stopped and it was like, you know what I'm saying? So now it's like a good thing that I have my mom, because she's so smart about that stuff. And like, I have people like navigating me, but I'm definitely trying to like learn more. Like, I read books too, like a lot of books. Yeah. So like, I really want to learn and understand. That's why I'm taking like college classes towards that stuff as well, so I can learn, because I really like to be hands-on. Like, I hear what you're saying too. So yeah, most definitely. That's something that I want to do. Like, now I've been putting the press game on my mom, so we've been doing that for sure.
Well, I'll tell you this. If you look at the Forbes list, any Forbes list, everyone on that Forbes list is there because of stock. Whether it's stock that they bought or stock in their own company. But no one is there because of a salary. No one is there because of sponsorships. No one is there because of record sales. Not a single person. Every single person you see on that list with that big net worth of 100 million, a billion, whatever else, all of them have massive stock portfolios. Now, they have some property and they have some this and some that. And there's some people who have made all their money through property or whatever else. But it's all huge assets that they own. You see what I'm saying? Definitely. So, you know, as a young person, and trust me, I made a lot of mistakes along the way. I gave people money that they completely blew off and so forth, people I trusted and so forth. So learn how to invest, because it's really going to change your life, especially when the money's coming at this point. Because you could be at a point when you're 30, 40 years old where you could do whatever you want because you've made good decisions up to that point. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be still trying to grind at 50, 60 years old.
Right.
Because you've done messed up all the money that you've already had, which happens every day. You know what I'm saying? So I really try to push the whole stock thing in hip hop. I'm probably the person that probably pushed the stock thing the most. You know what I'm saying?
No, most definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So the rapping is continuing, and Lil Wayne actually said that he's going to collab with you. He was on ESPN, I think.
Yeah.
So you guys spoke.
Yeah, we he said that on ESPN. He was saying how he loved my flow, he loved my sound, and how my coach Moki told him, like, you need to work with her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she gonna be big, you need to work with her. She really threw the alley-oop for him to come work with me. And I made the track for him, sent it to him, got connected with Fee, his manager. So they working out, my manager and Fee, they working out everything. And I'm excited for people to hear this track. Like,
is it done?
Like, it's done. I sent it off to Wayne.
Okay, but his version's not done yet.
Yeah.
His verse.
Yeah. He sent it in, yeah.
Oh, so you got it already?
He was on tour. So, like, it was like that type of thing. But
okay.
You get it there.
So when you first heard a song with you and Lil Wayne together, how'd you feel?
Like, first of all, let's go back to what he said on ESPN. Like, he was like, your flow bananas, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that right there took me back. Cause like, that's Lil Wayne. Like, that's not like, Like, that's Lil Wayne. Like, you feel me? That's not a regular rapper. That's not a regular compliment. So for him to give me that stamp on TV after I had won a national championship, it was like, wow. And now that, you know, I got the track with him, it's like, this really like pivotal for me coming into the game, like the real game, the mainstream spotlight. Cause like people don't start off with Wayne tracks. Like you gotta elevate to get to that level. So the fact that he's seeing it early in my career and blessing me with that, that's so much love.
Well, yeah, but you're not really early in your career. I mean, you've been rapping since 12
yeah,
years of nonstop, right? It may seem early from the outside, but from you,
exactly, and
most of your life has been spent rapping.
Right, exactly. So, but for other people, it's like, you already got a Wayne track. Like, I'm 19, like, you know what I'm saying? So I think like for the people that see it, they like, wow, like, and because I'm finally getting the recognition I feel like I deserve. You know, I've been rapping for a long time. People know me, but that now they listen to my music. Now they understanding the story and what I'm trying to feed to them. And they digesting it right. So I think like in that case, like being like a newer artist, it's just amazing to have.
Yes.
Without a major label. Right. Like, you feel me? Like,
right.
I'm not with a major label and they not making these moves. My team is, so it's exciting.
You rapped on stage with NLE Choppa?
Yeah, he brought me out. He came to LSU and performed at our Groovin' Fest that our student body put on. Showed a lot of love, man. I love NLE. That's a good guy.
Oh, yeah. No, I interviewed him a while back. Me and him had this kind of crazy back and forth on Twitter.
Yeah, I seen that.
Oh, you saw that? We were dissing each other back and forth. And then Academics got us on the phone. And we just chopped it up.
Academics?
And we were like, you know, we basically were like, okay, you know, it's not that serious. Let's do an interview and actually make it huge.
Right.
And that's what we did.
Right.
And it turned out great. Teddy Riley actually reached out to you. I interviewed him last year. That's one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah. And we still haven't got a chance to work, like, and that's something I really want to do ASAP. Like him, Wyclef, DJ Khaled, they all done reached out.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, most definitely. I met DJ Khaled doing the NIL deal. And it's coming out soon, which is going to be fun. But yeah, they all reached out and want to work. I've been working with OG Parker, Hit Kid. I'm supposed to be working with Hitmaker when I go down to Miami. So I'm just working with a lot of people that really see potential in what I got going on and the tracks that I'm trying to drop. That's
what's up. Well, I mean, there's a lot of talk right now about trans players in sports.
Yeah.
I've always said in my interviews, if Kevin Durant put on a wig and joined the WNBA, it'd be chaos. Yeah. Like it'd be like 100-0 every game, and it'd just be like ridiculous. You know, when you see, you know, first of all, do you see trans players actually playing in the WNBA in the future? And if they do, are you okay with it? And what are your thoughts about it?
I don't really know. I ain't really be like, I haven't really seen anything on that, like, about the WNBA. So I don't really know. I don't really have too much of an opinion on it right now. I would have to like go like do research and stuff like that. But I don't really have an opinion about it.
Yeah. No, I remember Gilbert Arenas, his daughter played on a high school game with a trans player. And at first people were upset, but then he was like, just let it go. And actually the girls ended up demolishing and winning. Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't even know. It's like, I don't even know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he kind of explained it to me. He said that like a lot of females, you know, the really good females usually grow up playing with boys.
Yeah.
The way you did. So you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So when you have like, you know, when they get to a certain point, like they want to eventually play, you know, if they could play in the NBA, they could, but you don't really see it the other way around. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't know. I mean, do you ever see, like, for example, a female player being good enough to play in the NBA?
It's just different because, like, that just goes like, I feel like women, like, we're so skilled, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're skilled players, but you wouldn't see like a woman playing in the WNBA just because, like, our bodies aren't built the same, really. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're men, they're strong, athletic, like 6'9", like the tallest girl is probably in the WNBA. Like, okay, it's probably like Brittany Griner, but she's the only one like that. You know what I mean?
How tall is Brittany?
Brittany's like, I think she's like 7. She's like 6. She's like 6'8". She's tall. Like,
she is 6'9".
6'9". Like, yeah, she's tall.
That's pretty damn tall.
That's a tall person. And so, like, the average girl in the WNBA is like 6'2". Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and the average male is like 6'6", 6'7". You know what I'm saying? In the NBA.
In the NBA, yeah.
So it's like different. Like,
I mean, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see. You know, I mean, like, for example, in in Canada, they passed this law where basically saying that anyone could basically join any sports competition if they identify as that. So this male powerlifter decided to join a female powerlifting competition and won broke every record that there ever has been just to prove a point. Yeah. He didn't wear a wig or nothing. He just said, I'm a woman. I'm going to enter this competition. And he ended up winning everything just to prove a point. So I think, and even like, for example, like Caitlyn Jenner, like remember there was a trans swimmer that went in and ended up beating a bunch of people. It was like, I think with sports, it's a little bit unfair. A lot of times when you have trans men that enter female sports because they have a physical advantage regardless.
Yeah, I think, I ain't gonna lie, this is a question for Boosie. Y'all want to hear his answer? This mama, you gotta ask all this question. I'm pretty sure he have a lot of opinions about it. But be like, I don't really, I didn't even see the story on that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. I don't know. Can I get you to do a freestyle on the way out?
A freestyle?
A freestyle. I'm springing it on you right now.
I got a freestyle out right now. It's called Clickbait. I just did one with Red Bull. Go check that one out. But yeah, I got a new single coming out. June. Big 4 anthem. June 9th. Big 4 anthem coming out. But yeah, my recent freestyle that I did, like I think that's my coldest one. Clickbait. So go check that out. Check it out everywhere.
That's what it is. Flau'jae Johnson, congrats on everything you went through. Like I said in the very beginning, your story unfortunately started before you were even born.
Yeah.
When your mom was 6 months pregnant and the tragedy with your dad, Camouflage. I saw some video of you actually going to his tombstone and it seemed like he had a really big effect on your life. And unfortunately, you never got to meet him, but a lot of people really thought highly of him.
Yeah.
To this day. He's a legend. He's a legend where you come from.
What's that?
And the fact that you were able to take that torch and carry it on the hip hop side, but at the same time, really functioning in basketball at the highest level right now at your age is extremely impressive. And I think you have a very, very bright future ahead of you.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Till next time.
Until next time.